What's up, everybody? And for the first time on this YouTube channel, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Americana. I've been in crypto since 2014. I turned $64,000 into a little over $500,000 without ever having to time the market. And if you want to learn how I did it, just watch this video. All right, so let's dive in. I got the model pulled up on the charts here. As you can see, repeatedly, time after time, we've entered into these zones, right? What these zones mean, okay, we're accumulating different amounts at different times, okay? Obviously, the green zone, that's when you sell your liver, it's when you sell your mom's liver and try to buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, right? But these zones just give us predetermined levels where we can allocate funds. Monthly works on any time frame, weekly if you wanted to, right? Whatever level you're in during that time is how much you're gonna allocate. And over the course of time, you can bring your averages down to $6,000 area, relatively low in comparison to the entirety of the bear cycle. And then obviously relatively good entry when it comes to where it's going in the future. Okay, 983% gain from this entry. The key thing here is you don't ever have to time the market. Okay, you're never doing technical analysis. You're never waiting for confirmation on anything, right? We know Bitcoin, right? We looked at the chart here and it goes up and to the right, okay? Just like the stock market. Okay, so if we can time some of these dips, or if we can take advantage of some of these larger dips by allocating more funds, that's going to help us in the long run. So this works over long periods of time because you actually use volatility to your advantage instead of being the volatility, right? So if I have a chart that, you know, is moving however it's going to move, right? And I'm trying to time entries and exits based on this chart, okay? So if I come down here and I'm trying to get longs in here, but I'm setting my stop, 3% below these recent lows, I'm going to get stopped out on large amounts of coins, right? If I lack emotional discipline and I am buying at these highs because I think we're about to break out, up here, clear up here, right? I'm going to mess up my average purchase price, right? When we finally do get a breakout, I'm going to have sat through 3 years of a bear market with, if we look at this chart, maybe your average purchase price is 11, 12, 10,000, something like that, right? It takes all of the emotional side out of things, okay? So, I mean, we can even do it on this chart here, right? So it'd be presumably like this, okay? So we'd be allocating the most amount of money down at these green areas with no stop loss or anything like that. We could even adjust it here for when we get pullbacks after this, right? And as you can see, even with just a made up fictitious chart here, things still work out in our favor, okay? Completely takes out all of the emotional and mental thought that prevents a lot of people from making money in the crypto market. Like I said, this model is going to help you take advantage of volatility instead of becoming the volatility like we just talked about. It's my understanding that this model beats everybody, pretty much everybody in the crypto market, besides people who are very, very, very good at technical analysis and are able to pretty much full port their entire portfolio into lows like this, right? But if that's not you, right, that wasn't me at the time, that's likely not you, or you would have already been doing something like that, then using a strategy like this that just has predetermined levels that you're willing to allocate certain amount of funds to can be a super helpful way to outperform 90% of traders, 90% of people who consider themselves into crypto or whatever, right? Those people are very emotional as well, okay? So again, for visualization, right, in an area like this red box, okay, even though we've pulled back from the highs, we wouldn't be doing anything at all, Okay, so no money would be added here. All right, as we dip through here, depending how much time we have in these areas, right, we could be allocating funds, but we're still saving for when we do get in this green box. Okay, and when we do get the opportunity to be in areas like this, okay, we are adding as much money as we can at any given moment. Okay, and right here it stops again, and we just enjoy the fruits of our hard labor, right? After so many years of accumulating and putting in the sweat equity and the grind of looking at these charts and paying attention and buying dips and things like that, right? Now we get to enjoy the actual gains behind it. Okay, so I just want to point out that this strategy does take a lot of sacrifice on your part. Okay, if this is something that you would want to implement or that you do implement already, this is a Bitcoin bear market in 2019, 2020, and 2022, 2021 area, right? This lasted 3 years. So this is 3 years of price being sideways, down, right? You're probably down on your purchases at some point, and or it's just moving sideways and you think it's going to pump and then it doesn't, and then you get a huge crash, right? You get a 62% crash, or it's been moving down and then it starts moving sideways for a couple months and you're like, hey, this is the bottom. I can relieve some of this pain that I'm feeling, right? And it drops again another 28%. Okay, so it's a huge psychological game. Okay, but with these predetermined levels that we do have, hopefully you can see in the past that it's worked and kind of lean on that. Actions that you're taking at the current time are the correct, plan, the correct course of action, and that you will, be rewarded for it in the future. You know what I mean? Holding through stuff like this, holding for long periods of time, for future reward, right? That's just the grind that this SBS model requires of you. So now you know how I turned $60,000 into about $700,000 in Bitcoin, but it took very serious sacrifice and discipline. For those of you that are ready to put in the grind for those long-term gains, I promise you it's worth it. You're going to get more coins, you're going to have a lower cost, okay? And you're going to have 20, 30, 40x portfolio P&Ls in that time, right? Expect the volatility. Those dips will hurt. There's going to be times where you are scared. But if you can hold strong through those times, like I mentioned, this strategy will be rewarding. You'll outperform anything in the stock market. You'll outperform every hedge fund. You'll outperform every Bitcoin trader, every day trader, okay? Your friends, your peers around you, right? You're going to be crushing their 401ks. People don't do this. 1, because they don't know, and 2, because it's too scary for them, okay? But if you can overlook that, you can relatively safely turn a small amount of money into something rather substantial. I want that for each and every one of you guys, so I hope you guys check out some other videos on this YouTube channel, as well as head over to my Instagram. I have daily market insights over there. I have stuff I'm seeing, stuff as it pertains to timing certain rotations in the market, news-related topics, all types of stuff. So go ahead and check that out as well. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and peace.